Hey, good morning, everyone. Riley Foster, Foster's Custom Steel in the shop today. Today we're going to work on, well, they call it a high performance 8,000 watt commercial industrial electric generator, rugged industrial construction. Well, it's just a generator. And it's been sitting in my shed for, I guess, all about a decade. I emptied the fuel out and ran it dry when I parked it and got it out. The thing did not start, and it wasn't the fuel. No spark, zero zip nada. I had no spark in the generator or on the spark plug. So then I'm dealing with electronics, and that just sucks. So I tested the coil and come to find out it was the coil. Has no spark to the spark plug. So I ordered a coil and got it in. But I'll tell you, taking this thing apart, and I'll get back to the generator in a minute, you can see this generator is small. Look at all the sheet metal I had to take off to get to this thing. That's a front panel, a middle panel, a top panel, two side panels, an end panel, and the other two side panels. And that's not counting I had to take the gas tank off of the top. You people who have these Titan generators, it's a good generator. Boy, working on it, I don't have petite hands. I cannot get my clunky hand inside no tight area and pull gas lines and stuff like that. So when I got the generator running, I'll show it to you in just a minute, I thought, I'm not selling this thing, it's mine. I'm not going to put all this sheet metal back on. So guess what? All that crap going to the scrap pile. I'll cut it up and use it for something. So that's ridiculous. I bet there's 25 pounds of sheet metal added onto this generator. So what I did, got in there, put the new coil on, and I'll start this thing up in just a minute. It runs unbelievably good. Hopefully it won't make me a liar. It started first time. I had a cold start. So you can see way up under it now. It's easy to work on. I can get my big clunky hands in there. I can pull. Just getting the carburetor off was a job because those side panels came all the way down to here. You can see the dirt line. They went up and they covered all this. I added these two bars to hold the gas tank. I'm going to break a sheet of aluminum here in just a few minutes to go on this top panel. That's it. I might put a heat shield between the exhaust here and the gas tank. There's plenty of airflow under there now. So it's not like it doesn't have plenty of airflow and a way to keep it cool. But all of that sheet metal was brutal to get underneath. And the end covers, they came all the way down to here. Now you imagine trying to get your hand up under here and get to that fuel filter or the carburetor. No. This generator isn't going to be sold. It's not going to be loaned out or anything. It's mine to keep. Look at the room. I can get up under there, work on anything now. Hopefully I don't need to anymore. But that was the culprit right there. There's your coil. I cleaned the magneto just because I was in there. And I'm gonna try to start it up right quick and just let you see. It runs great. And then we're gonna break a piece of sheet metal or sheet aluminum to go on the top. So hold on 1 second. Let's see if it'll start up. Make sure that's on. Yeah. So okay, if this wasn't a cold start, I would not be able to put my hands on that motor. So it's a cold start. So here, turn the power on, turn the fuel on, turn the choke on. One start. One start. You can't beat that. So I bought this generator off the side of the road. It was chained to a telephone pole probably a decade ago. And I brought it home and I started doing a little bit of mobile welding with it, and I got a job with Duke University. They paid great, but boy, it was a pain in the butt to jump through all the paperwork that they had you jump through. Welding up hand railings on fire escapes. I would park this at the bottom of a 3-story building, pull the cable and steel all up, take it 3 stories high, and start welding pipe. This generator, it was that little welder right there, the one I always brag about, the Pro MIG 135. Carried that thing 3 floors up. But the generator ran great, and then I took it out, and I don't know how a coil goes bad setting, but it did. Problem solved. So now all I'm going to do, I'm going to block this out right here. It's not going to be used for anything. No toolbox, don't need that on there. Just to cover the generator. And I'll put a little bit of silicone beater on it, just in case, you know what, generators get left out in the weather if they're running and it's rainy. So I'll get the camera set up on this sheet pretty soon, and you'll see me use that little cheap cutter, which has been working pretty good. I'm going to cut this line. I'm going to break this. Now my coil brake is down in the shipping container. It's not worth going all the way down there to do this. I'll show you how to break this lightweight aluminum on the workbench. Fairly easy. So, and I put that generator up on my motorcycle lift so I could set on my keister and work on it, and it worked out really well. But you can see, shop is back to being a mess. I got a young man that comes in twice a week, and Tuesday, which is tomorrow, he'll come in and clean up for me real good. He's learning how to work in the shop and weld. He's getting pretty good at welding. He just needs to get more proficient in the shop and speed up a little bit, but that will come with time. He's a good kid, works hard, and that's it's a rarity nowadays. So hold on one second. I'm going to get this set up on that sheet aluminum, and we'll cut it and pop it on here. All right. So as I had mentioned, I'm going to cut this. I've already laid it out. That's the tool. I did a review on this. Shocking enough, this little guy works really good. And I know people see them advertised, and I thought it was cheapest thing in the world, but it's not. It actually works pretty daggone good. So my first cut, I'm just going to remove just this small corner right here, and you'll see why shortly. Get rid of that. Slide this out here. We're going to knock the chunk off that we need to work with. Clamp these down so I don't have to chase them down. That's a pain in the butt when you literally, yeah. If I didn't clamp it down, I'd push it and it'd just go all over the table and I'd wind up chasing it, is what I'm saying. So I know this is the long cut. That's going to be on the edge. And I'm trying to cut this right-handed. We'll see how that works out. You people that are right-handed do not know how lucky you are to live in a right-hand world. Switch your tools over to left hand and try them for a while, and you'll know what I'm talking about. All right, get rid of that. Now, I'll break something like this. It requires a chunk of steel. Yep, so I am going to, normally I would fold this over on this, but I want that kind of a rounded edge. This table should be fairly square. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. Now, sheet over just a little bit more. I want to show that line because I know on that corner it's more round tubing edge than it is a crisp, sharp edge. So, and again, this is 1 inch by 2 inch square bar stock. It doesn't move. It's pretty tough stuff. Now, this is soft material. Yeah. I had a body hammer here once upon a time. I don't know where it is. There we go. Body hammer. That's one bend. And the next one, you have to fold up like that. It's got to fold up over the edge, so I'm going to remark that right quick. I think it's 1.5 inches in. Yeah, close enough. Take just a second to mark this, guys. Bear with me, and I'm gonna mark 3/4 first. 3/4, 1.5 inches. I'm gonna fold this twice. That's correct. I thought I messed up. No, that's correct. So this will be the edge that I want to be doubled up so it'll be nice and strong. And now you see I'm going to fold up on this piece of metal here, because this piece of metal stays where you put it. It's a real nice chunk of steel. We'll take just a second to tap this up. Bite down on that. Make sure we're in the, yeah, you can see that. And again, this, I think this is probably 30, maybe, yeah, probably 30 gauge. Or 30 thousandths. That's what a little body hammer and a little bit of time will do. Hold on 1 second. All right, so I added a piece of 1/8 inch underneath this bar stock. The reason being is I can roll that over. I'll take that out. Good Lord, that bar is heavy. What I want to do, I'm going to beat that down flat. Go now. See, there's a nice, good, rounded over edge. Yeah, so I'm gonna bend it one more time on that green line right there, and it should give me the measurement I'm looking for. So I'm gonna actually flip that to the cut side. Pull this right back out on the edge. Now I'm going to put this on pause while I go ahead and do this, because we're chewing into time, and you guys can watch me put this on. Hold on one second. All right, took a little bit of modifying. I had to do some notching around the tubing edge, but I think, let's start in the middle here. I think these will work out just fine. Put a few screws, keep it from rattling and vibrating, because that's just not what I want to hear. And again, guys, 2 pieces of tubing, if you're not a welder and you have one of these, you can get a welder to weld these on. They're, I think, 26 inches long pieces of half-inch or square tubing, 1-inch square tubing, 16 gauge. It's pretty cheap material until you crack a head off of these cheap screws. Ain't nothing worse than that. Thank you, China. And when you're trying to do a job for someone and you crack a screw off in there, and then you got to try to conceal, not because you're doing cheap work, but because you don't want to start over. But they're such cheap screws. You have to be so careful not to crack the things. But anyway, hey, you get the gist. Remember to like and share and comment. If you've got one of these, generators, the reason I folded that edge over is keep the water running down anyway, away from that generator itself. And I'll shoot some silicone to seal up that crack. Again, the main thing is keep the water off the generator. I think it's going to turn out just fine. The main thing is it starts and runs now. And when I go back up to the church in West Virginia, if I need a generator to run some tools, this will do it. Yeah, we're not running the whole house on it, but it's a good generator. And now it's got plenty of airflow. So guys, let me know what you think about repairing this Titan generator and getting it up and running and getting this god-awful mess again. I think that they realized they had a good generator, they just needed to cover it. Why they didn't make one bonnet instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces, 9 counting the gas tank, to cover it up. And it was so low to the frame, as I was telling you, you couldn't get to it to work on it. So now you can get your hands up under there. There's the electrical module. The carburetor is easier to get to. The fuel filter is easy to check. There's the oil, the electrical, the little oil sending switch in case you got low oil, it won't start. All of that works now. And lo and behold, there's the spark plug. I can get to it easy. Before, that metal was down here. You could not get your hand up underneath it. So guys, hey, let me know what you think. Another day in Foster's Custom Steel. This one was for me, but if you have one of these, that's not a bad way to get it running and keep it going and user-friendly when you have to do a little repair work. Remember to give thanks and have a great day.